This is the story of how one factory in Ontario, Canada, killed thousands of pets across North America, and in the process revealed one of the most closely guarded secrets in modern commerce. Nearly 100 brands of dog and cat food, including premium names like Iams, Eukanuba, and Science Diet, brands that appeared to compete fiercely on store shelves, were all made by the same company, in the same building, on the same production lines, through white label manufacturing. Pet food is just the beginning. This phenomenon, known as contract manufacturing or OEM partnerships, is a $2 trillion industry that touches almost everything you buy. Your phone, your vodka, your yoga pants, your car parts, your batteries. The brand on the label and the factory that made the product are almost never the same entity. Once you understand how this works, you'll never look at a store shelf the same way again. Let's start with the biggest example on Earth, Foxconn. If you've never heard the name, that's by design. This single Taiwanese company, formerly known as Hon High Precision Industry, manufactures products for Apple, Google, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, Amazon, Nokia, Cisco, Xiaomi, and BlackBerry. At its peak, Foxconn factories produced an estimated 40% of all consumer electronics sold worldwide. In 2023, the company pulled in nearly $200 billion in revenue. It employs around 900,000 people across China, India, Vietnam, Mexico, and the United States. Today, Foxconn is building half of all AI servers for NVIDIA, cementing its role as the invisible backbone of modern technology. But Foxconn isn't alone in the Apple ecosystem. Pegatron and Wistron also assemble iPhones, creating a trio of competing manufacturers that Apple deliberately maintains for leverage. Think about that for a moment. When you pick up an iPhone, and your friend picks up a Google Pixel, and you debate which phone is better, there's a very real chance that both devices were assembled in the same Foxconn facility. The PlayStation and the Xbox, consoles that have defined rival gaming camps for decades, both come off Foxconn production lines. The Kindle you read on, the iPad your kid watches cartoons on, the Nintendo Switch your nephew won't put down. Same manufacturer, different logo on the box. Here's a twist that makes this even more interesting. A former Foxconn factory worker named Grace Wang founded a company called Luxshare. Starting with cables and connectors, Luxshare systematically climbed the Apple supply chain, from AirPods to the Apple Watch to high-end iPhone assembly, cannibalizing Foxconn's own market share. The student surpassing the master, built on knowledge gained inside the master's own walls. That story captures one of the fundamental risks of this entire system, which we'll come back to. But contract manufacturing isn't just a tech story. Companies like JBL and Flex dominate electronics manufacturing for dozens of brands you'd never suspect. Let's talk about your grocery cart. Costco's Kirkland signature brand generated $56 billion in sales in 2023. That's roughly a quarter of Costco's total revenue from a single store brand. What makes Kirkland fascinating is that the company doesn't hide who makes its products. It practically brags about it. Kirkland batteries are made by Duracell, confirmed by Costco's own CEO in 2016. Kirkland diapers come from Kimberly-Clark, the same company that makes Huggies. Kirkland coffee says right on the bag that it's custom roasted by Starbucks. Then there's the vodka. Kirkland's French vodka is bottled literally across the street from Grey Goose, using the same water source and similar equipment. A 1.75-liter bottle costs $19.99 at Costco. Grey Goose, from essentially the same neighborhood and process, runs $47.99. The difference between those two bottles isn't primarily what's inside them. It's the label, the marketing, and the story you've been told about each one. The Wall Street Journal reported in 2017 that before Costco develops a Kirkland version of any product, the company usually offers the brand name supplier the chance to manufacture the Kirkland version too. Think about the position that puts a brand in. Say no, and Costco finds someone else, and you lose a massive customer. Say yes, and you're literally manufacturing your own competition. Now, multiply this across every aisle of the grocery store. Trader Joe's carries about 4,000 items compared to 50,000 in a typical supermarket. 80% of those items carry a Trader Joe's brand name. They're all made by outside manufacturers, but Trader Joe's famously refuses to identify who makes what. That secrecy is leverage. It keeps suppliers competing for Trader Joe's business while preventing consumers from comparison shopping. Aldi takes this even further. 90% of its merchandise is private label. In 2025, Aldi announced it was consolidating 90 separate private label brands down to just 26, all unified under the Aldi name. This came shortly after Mondelez sued the company, alleging that Aldi's packaging blatantly copied brands like Oreos and Wheat Thins. The apparel industry is just as tangled. Lululemon, Under Armour, Athleta, Land's End, Duluth Trading Company, and Walmart all source workout clothing from the same manufacturer, a company called Eclat Textile. What's remarkable is that Eclat produces Lululemon's signature Luon fabric, the same material that built their premium brand identity, while simultaneously manufacturing basic activewear for discount retailers. Meanwhile, a single factory in Hong Kong, South Asia Knitting Factory Limited, produces sweaters and knitwear for Nordstrom, Old Navy, JCPenney, Gap, Ann Taylor, Uniqlo, Ralph Lauren, Saks Fifth Avenue, and Banana Republic. Brands spanning the entire spectrum, from discount to luxury, all cut from the same cloth, literally. Even your car. Almost 50% of all car manufacturing happens off-site through original equipment manufacturers. Most automakers don't build their own suspension, gearboxes, or electronics. Bosch, a company founded in 1886, is the world's largest automotive parts supplier, feeding components into vehicles across nearly every major brand. When you're comparing a Toyota to a Volkswagen, there's a solid chance key components inside both came from the same Bosch factory. So why does this system exist? The economics are straightforward. Private label products deliver gross margins 25 to 30% higher than national brands. Manufacturing costs run 40 to 50% lower. Store brands can be priced 10 to 50% cheaper for consumers. Everyone wins, at least on paper. Private label sales hit a record $271 billion in 2024, growing nearly 4% year over year while national brands grew just 1%. Over the past 4 years, store brand unit sales rose more than 2%, while national brand units fell nearly 7%. 80% of consumers now say store brands are just as good or better than name brands. But there are real risks. The 2007 pet food crisis proved that when one factory fails, it can take down an entire category. Menu Foods of Streetsville, Ontario, manufactured over 90 brands of cat and dog food, including premium names like Iams, Eukanuba, and Science Diet that consumers trusted most. When contamination was discovered, the recall affected more than 60 million units. Thousands of pets died. Consumers realized for the first time that the brand diversity they saw on shelves was an illusion. In 2023, it happened again when Mid-America Pet Food voluntarily recalled every brand it manufactured after contamination was found. There are also deeper concerns. Intellectual property theft is a constant worry. More than a third of FDA warning letters in recent years cited manufacturing violations at contract facilities. Supply chains that look clean on paper often involve layers of subcontracting that buyers don't fully control. Yet the system keeps growing. The global private label market reached $915 billion in 2024. Contract manufacturing overall is a $2 trillion industry. Foxconn is now building AI servers for NVIDIA, claiming to produce half of all servers used for artificial intelligence. Tata is emerging as the Indian Foxconn, acquiring iPhone assembly plants and signaling that this model of production is spreading, not shrinking. The next time you're standing in a store, choosing between two brands, remember this. The competition you see on the shelf might not exist on the factory floor. The brands are different, the marketing is different, the price is different, but the hands that made them, the machines that assembled them, the factory floor where they came to life, those might be exactly the same. What you're really choosing between isn't two products. It's two stories about two products. And with that $271 billion private label market still growing, now you know who's actually writing them.